Hey, I'm Eric. This is my Alesis Strata Prime. I have it set up, all the inputs basically divided, going into the interface where I make drum covers. What I want to do is I want to be able to gig with it. Just a 4-piece, like kick, snare, 2 toms, ride cymbal, 2 crashes. Right into the board, kick, snare, everything else. So the sound guy can adjust the overall volume of the kick or the snare, or people with in-ears can take out the snare or add more snare, that sort of thing. But I need to make this easy to move because the way it is right now, not easy to move, obviously, because there's a lot going on. Why isn't this focusing? Anyway, kick pedal there, a couple extra cymbal stands here. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is what I've come up with. I wanted to build a custom snake, but I was trying to figure out how to label all of these and not make it look like trash.
Trash?
I found on Amazon labels that actually have like kick, snare, all of that. And they're like $6 for the whole set. So that's what I'll do. I'll wrap these with the labels and then I'll turn this all into something a little more organized. But for tonight, this is what I'm gonna use. Zoom out a little, boom. Stands. Way easier than a rack. It just takes too long to set that up. I know this because I've tried it. I've tried to gig with racks. Stands, way easier. So anyway, next I'm going to figure out a good way to pack this up. That way I don't damage anything hauling this in and out of the venue. That's next. That's all that's left. I don't know if this is easier or not. First time I'm gigging with electronic drums, so it's all a learning process. Got bass drum, hardware, all the cymbals, all the drums, case of chords and whatever else, and kick pedal. So it's a smaller footprint, not by a lot. 1, 2, maybe 3 trips. Anyway, I'll see you at the venue. And here it is, back set up on the rack. I have a video about removing the rack and using traditional hardware. That was too much of a pain. Or to have this set up permanently, right? In your house, you want to gig with certain pieces, you have to take so much of it apart. It's just worth it to leave the rack set up, put stuff back when you're not using it, have a separate set of hardware to mount stuff on. So that's what I'm gonna do for now on. As far as how it sounded great. The sound guy loved it. For me, personally, I thought it was weird not having the sound of drums. I wear in-ears, blocks out a lot of sound, but usually I don't have a drum mix in my ear anyway. Maybe, just a hair of an overhead. But this, I had to put a lot of it in my ear because it's not making any noise, obviously. Everyone on stage loved it. A lead singer could pop an in-ear out, and I was on his right side, and he didn't have the cymbal crashing right in his ear. The bartenders loved it because they didn't have the snare cracking like you hear in so many bars where the snare drum is just overpowering over everything. So all in all, I give it a thumbs up. Actually, if I had my other hand wasn't holding the camera, I would give it 2 thumbs up. The only issue I had For whatever reason, when I turned this thing on, everything loaded just fine. I was able to load the kit that I had set up. See how when you hit the snare kind of lights up. Same thing with the kick lights up. So all that was happening, but no sound was coming out of this thing. Turned it off, turned it back on, still no sound. Went into the mix and turned the volume down on the kick drum and then back to Unity, and it started working. So I don't know what that deal was, but that was the only issue I had. And then moving it. So what I did is I stacked all the cymbals in one, stacked the drums in the other, which that was fine. I didn't like stacking the cymbals. So I think there's a better way to move this. Like I have this case that's made to stack a 16-inch floor tom and then like a snare and 2 toms. Maybe having dividers in that and doing the drums and the cymbals that way. It's actually very nice to gig with it because you don't have to hold back at all because there's this volume threshold. So you hit it as hard as you can and it's never going to be too loud. That's something I like about it. The main thing I don't like about it is halfway through a 4-hour gig, this thing takes a crap. Then what? Then you're without drums. So that's the only thing I don't like. Maybe a backup module that isn't that. Maybe it's just a cheaper version. Despite what I said on that, removing the rack from the Alesis Stratus Prime as that being better. For gigging, being able to enter a venue 45 minutes before you start playing, set up, sound check, and go. This is not feasible. That is. Anyone that's gigged for any decent amount of time knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, that is gigging with the Alesis Stratus Prime. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Whoop.